Wang Lin, severely weakened and hunted, risks everything to seize life-saving pills only to uncover a hidden mastermind behind the caves. Impossible restrictions and confront terrifyingly powerful figures who may control his fate. No need to wait for the next episode. The full audio novel is already available on my website. Check it out below. daoaudio.org. Void treasures were rare, yet they had not completely vanished. Every Nirvana Shatterer old monster valued such treasures as if they were their lives. The method to forge them had long been lost. They could not be repaired. Once damaged, their power would fall sharply, never to return to its former peak. In truth, some so-called pseudo-Nirvana void treasures were not truly pseudo. They were merely void treasures of slightly greater strength. The title existed only for the sake of pride. For ordinary Nirvana Shatterer old monsters, void treasures already stood at the pinnacle. They would pay any price to obtain one. But for those who stood at the very summit, although void treasures remained precious, they were no longer scarce. In their eyes, no treasure in this world could truly stir desire. What they sought was transcendence beyond the second step, toward the elusive third step of legend. Yet the third step was far too distant, too illusory. The path toward it was blurred and uncertain. One could only wait for the 5 heavens' blights to descend one after another. In the end, all would be swept away like grains of sand in the tide, meeting inevitable death. For these ancient beings who had lived for countless years, reaching the third step was no longer a dream. It was survival. Only by stepping into that realm could they withstand the 5 heavens' blights. Otherwise, death awaited them without mercy. At this moment, a cultivator from the system beneath the Wind Celestial Realm had arrived in the Alliance star system. Though he had not reached the third step, he had already survived the 4th heaven's blight. The 5 heavens' blights were trials every Nirvana Shatterer cultivator must face. Each time one was overcome, strength would surge dramatically. But the difficulty was terrifying. Failure meant immediate death without exception. The reason this man survived the 4th heaven's blight was a single factor: a magic treasure. A Nirvana treasure. After investigation, it was discovered that Nirvana treasures originated from primordial times. Only a pitiful few remained in existence. From ancient records, the Nirvana Shatterer old monsters learned of treasures that surpassed void treasures, yet fell short of Nirvana treasures. These were the pseudo-Nirvana void treasures. Although less rare than Nirvana treasures, their number was still miserably small. Almost all of them were held by peak Nirvana Shatterer cultivators. To join the Alliance Elder Group, one requirement stood above all: possession of a pseudo-Nirvana void treasure. These treasures were not only immensely powerful, but also aided their owners in resisting the 5 heavens' blights. Pseudo-Nirvana void treasures were further divided into grades: low, mid, high, and peak, just like ordinary treasures. After all, they were relics left behind by ancient ancestors. Their descendants could neither forge them nor properly classify them. It can absorb killing intent, create illusions, and possess such terrifying power. The beautiful woman gasped, fear filling her eyes. The treasure in Wang Lin's hand might be a high-grade pseudo-Nirvana void treasure, or even a peak one. As the three pondered, a roar echoed from outside. The man in black leapt forward without hesitation, weaving between statues imitating Wang Lin's escape method. Master Void and the beautiful woman followed closely behind. At that moment, on the 2nd floor of the Celestial Emperor Cave, a pavilion near the center shimmered with purple light. Wang Lin stepped out from within. A Nirvana Shatterer cultivator is unexpectedly difficult to kill. Wang Lin muttered, coughing up a mouthful of blood. His face revealed rare exhaustion. Master Void is gravely injured yet still alive. And that woman. And now. He paused, breathing heavily. However, this iron sword, its power far exceeds my expectations. His eyes flickered. If I could gather all 5 iron swords for the sheaths and use them together. He shook his head. Using them simultaneously would likely drain him dry in an instant. He sheathed the iron sword and stored it away. Taking out several pills, he swallowed them without hesitation. Before their effects could even spread, he clenched his teeth and pressed forward. Everything he had done before was an act. By severely injuring Master Void, he created momentum enough to intimidate the man in black and the woman. Had the two attacked together, Wang Lin would have certainly died. Now he had no time to rest. He had to rely on his knowledge of the cave's layout to widen the distance between them. Taking a deep breath, he navigated through layers of restrictions. Soon he arrived at a marked restriction node. A glance confirmed his suspicion someone had already come before him and broken it. It was unknown how deep they had ventured. Dragging his weary body, Wang Lin advanced toward the central palace shrouded in black fog. The first 6 floors of the Celestial Emperor Cave shared similar structures. With his familiarity, even in his weakened state, Wang Lin quickly reached the center of the 2nd floor, the entrance to the 3rd. At the same time, the man in black, the beautiful woman, and the heavily injured Master Void also arrived on the 2nd floor. Master Void, no longer arrogant, moved slowly due to his injuries. This delay granted Wang Lin precious time inside the palace. There were no statues here, only 9 stone candlesticks. Wang Lin steadied his restless mind. After long observation, he frowned. Then his gaze sharpened. The candlesticks bore faint traces of movement, some deep, some shallow. They had been shifted multiple times. It was clearly meant to mislead. His eyes lit up. He crouched and examined them closely. Gradually, a faint glimmer of realization appeared. He sensed a trace of sword energy. It was ordinary. To others, it would seem like residual force from someone attempting to break the candlesticks by brute strength. But to Wang Lin, it carried profound meaning. Senior Zhou Yi's sword energy. Wang Lin murmured, eyes narrowing. If he left it here, then he must already be on the 3rd floor. But why leave it behind? Could it be? With a wave of his hand, the 9 candlesticks ignited. The moment the flames rose, their light enveloped him. Wang Lin vanished, ascending to the 3rd floor. The displaced candlesticks were merely a distraction. Even the traces of movement existed to mislead. The true key was simple: light them. Time flowed silently. In the blink of an eye, Wang Lin had spent 2 months within the Celestial Emperor Cave. During these 2 months, he had only brief moments to heal. The rest was spent traversing each floor. The deeper he went, the stronger the restrictions became. Even with his mastery and the map's guidance, breaking through them required time. The greatest delays came from the central palaces. Each one was a puzzle complex, layered, demanding effort to uncover the path forward. After the 4th floor, the map revealed numerous storage spaces. Wang Lin had no intention of ignoring them. Most had already been emptied, yet a few remained untouched. Without hesitation, Wang Lin claimed everything he found. Just thinking about his harvest filled him with excitement. Even he was astonished by what lay within. Celestial jades alone were enough to sustain a sect for 1,000 years. There were countless other treasures as well. In Wang Lin's view, these storage spaces were deliberately arranged by Celestial Emperor Qing Lin. Each must have served a purpose. Though Wang Lin did not know that purpose, it no longer mattered. The treasures were now his. What excited him even more was the jade's record on the 6th floor. 2 transfer arrays led to storage spaces. One of them contained a vast number of celestial pills and elixirs from before the celestial realm's collapse. At this moment, those pills were more valuable than any treasure. Despite 2 months passing, Wang Lin had not fully recovered. His body had healed thanks to the resilience of his ancient god form. But his origin energy was depleted, and his origin soul had weakened from using the iron sword. Without pills, recovery would take far too long, and he was running out. With dangers lurking everywhere, obtaining that storage space filled with pills was no longer a choice, it was necessity. On this day, a flash of light appeared at the edge of the 6th floor. Wang Lin stepped out. He found himself within a serene garden, pavilions scattered around mountains surrounding the area, and a river flowing gently nearby. The sound of water echoed softly, calming yet eerie. This is the 6th floor. Wang Lin took a deep breath, scanning his surroundings. Matching the map, he quickly confirmed his position. Determination filled his eyes as he rushed to the right. I must obtain those pills. He moved swiftly through the restrictions. But suddenly he stopped, his gaze fixed ahead. There is someone here. From the second to the fifth floor, he had seen traces of others, but never encountered anyone. This was the first time. A voice echoed from ahead, carrying a hint of surprise. It must not have been easy for little brother to reach this place. Two figures stepped out from the artificial mountain before Wang Lin. One was a man, the other a woman. The man carried an air of the celestial. His features were refined, almost flawless, and a faint smile rested on his lips as he looked at Wang Lin. Behind him, the woman's gaze was gentle, yet within it lingered a trace of surprise. Clearly, she had not expected Wang Lin to reach this place. Recognizing them as the celestial cloud cultivation couple, Wang Lin's face remained calm, yet within his vigilance sharpened. His cultivation had not recovered. Here inside the celestial emperor cave, he was at his weakest. A single misstep could cost him his life. He quietly took a step back, positioning himself beside a restriction. Then he clasped his hands and spoke, "Greetings, seniors, celestial cloud." As he spoke, his eyes flicked behind them. Zhou Yi was nowhere to be seen. His heart sank slightly. Little brother's understanding of restrictions is truly profound. "It seems I have underestimated you," Wang Wei said with a laugh. He knew little about Wang Lin. Zhou Yi had never spoken of him. In Wang Wei's eyes, for Wang Lin to reach this place by breaking through the restrictions, his mastery must already stand at a peak. As for Wang Lin's injuries, Wang Wei saw through them at a glance. To Wang Lin, the celestial cloud cultivation couple felt strange. When the celestial emperor cave opened, everyone should have been drawn into the bottle world. Yet even after its collapse, they had not appeared until now here of all places. Wang Lin had no desire to speak further. Zhou Yi's absence stirred speculation within him. Combined with his injuries, caution guided his actions. He retreated and said, "If the two seniors have nothing else, then this junior will take his leave." With that, he withdrew immediately. He intended to circle around toward the location where the pills were stored. Wang Wei's smile did not fade. He merely shook his head slightly. Only after Wang Lin vanished into the layers of restrictions did he speak. "This little fellow is quite interesting." His cultivation partner Hu Huan smiled as well. "This Wang Lin is very cautious. I had wanted to speak with him longer, but you frightened him away." Wang Wei laughed. "I did not frighten him. He simply has somewhere else to go. Did you see how smoothly he stepped into that restriction without triggering it? Either he understands the restrictions here extremely well, or his mastery has once again exceeded my expectations." Hu Huan looked toward where Wang Lin had disappeared. Her brows furrowed slightly as she said softly, "At his age, I would rather believe he understands this place very well." Wang Wei smiled at her and said, "Do you feel it is unfair that he can pass through these restrictions so easily?" "But I agree. He seems to understand this place deeply. That only makes things more interesting." "Unfair? Ah, you still tease me even now," Hu Huan said with a smile. Her eyes curved like crescent moons, beautiful and serene. Wang Wei smiled as well. Wisdom flickered within his expression. "Earlier we guessed the sword spirit had a companion. If I am not mistaken, that companion should be him." Hu Huan was startled. After a moment of thought, she smiled. "If you say so, then it must be so. If that is the case, then he is not an enemy. Judging by the direction he came from, if he truly understands this place, then he should be heading toward the Celestial Emperor's pill storage. Let us go and take a look. The sword spirit should be there as well. There must be some secret between those two," Wang Wei said with a faint smile as he stepped forward. Hu Huan looked at him, her eyes filled with tenderness. She had absolute faith in Wang Wei's calculations. Without hesitation, she followed at his side. Meanwhile, Wang Lin continued to retreat, passing through restriction after restriction. The sixth floor's formations were far more complex. His speed slowed. Some he could cross instantly. Others required careful calculation before each step. After 7 days, he had circled the area and gradually approached the location of the pill storage. According to the map, this place was an alchemy room. Inside it lay a transfer array, leading to where the pills were stored. From a distance, Wang Lin observed the room, then walked toward it. As he advanced, his divine sense spread outward, though not too far. He observed the surrounding restrictions. From their fluctuations, he could detect if anyone approached. The alchemy room was not large. Beside it lay a garden, but it was filled with withered plants. As Wang Lin neared and was about to step into the garden, he stopped. He stared at the alchemy room. Something felt off. The restrictions here did not match what was recorded on the map. Along the way, the map had been accurate through the first 5 floors. Only here did a discrepancy appear. There was only one explanation: someone had altered the restrictions. His expression darkened. He scanned the surroundings, his eyes gleaming as he studied the formations. After a long time, he discerned faint clues. Yet those clues only deepened his frown. From what he could tell, additional restrictions had been layered atop the original ones, causing subtle changes. However, these added layers had fused seamlessly with the original formations. Restrictions varied endlessly. Each cultivator cast them differently. Personality, experience, understanding, and cultivation all shaped them. Even if 100 people cast the same restriction, those who understood them would see 100 distinct variations, though they might appear identical on the surface. Because of this, the altered restriction before him defied comprehension. It overturned everything he knew. It fused so perfectly, Wang Lin murmured inwardly. With my understanding, and even with the inheritance of the annihilation restriction, such perfect fusion should be impossible when forcibly modifying another restriction. Even if it were possible, it would require someone at the absolute peak capable of altering only the simplest formations. Yet this is the 6th floor of the Celestial Emperor Cave, where restrictions are exceedingly rare and complex. How could someone modify them so flawlessly? If such a person truly exists, then every restriction within this cave would be child's play to them. They could pass through all 9 floors with ease. Wang Lin drew in a sharp breath. The thought shook him. He refused to believe it. He examined the formations again, even more carefully. The fusion here could no longer be described as merely perfect. It was as though the same person had returned later and perfected their own work. Could it be? A thought flashed through his mind. His eyes widened. Could it be that the one who originally placed all the restrictions in the Celestial Emperor Cave, and the one who altered them here, is the same person? Wang Lin inhaled sharply. The conclusion explained everything, yet it was almost impossible to accept. He stared at the formations, a vague sense rising within him. If his guess was correct, then he had stumbled upon a vast hidden net. He simply did not know who had cast it. The first name that surfaced in his mind was the Celestial Cloud Cultivation couple. After pondering for a while, Wang Lin was unwilling to abandon this path. The pills were too important. He focused on the restriction and began deducing its structure. The formations here were extremely complex. Their purpose was clearly to prevent entry. Wang Lin sat down cross-legged. Flickers of restriction patterns danced within his eyes. He slapped his storage bag, and a compass appeared in his hand. 3 days passed. By the end, his eyes had turned bloodshot. Countless variations of the restrictions surged through his mind as he searched for the correct path. On the 4th day, he lifted his head. Rising to his feet, he approached the alchemy room. Without hesitation, he took 3 steps forward. At the 5th step, he paused. According to his calculations, this step was the most difficult. No matter where he placed his foot, it seemed wrong. The 5th step. His eyes suddenly brightened. After a long moment, a faint smile appeared. There is no 5th step. He stepped forward. His foot landed on empty air. With a slight leap, he bypassed the position entirely and landed ahead. What followed was the 6th step. After landing, Wang Lin immediately examined his surroundings. Seeing no disturbance in the restrictions, he let out a breath. Then he moved swiftly through them, arriving outside the alchemy room. Just as he was about to enter, his expression changed. He suddenly retreated. At that instant, the door opened. A streak of sword energy shot outward. It rushed toward him, but upon seeing Wang Lin, a sound of surprise emerged from within it. Moments later, the sword energy dissipated, revealing a figure in white. Zhou Yi. Wang Lin halted his retreat. After clearly seeing Zhou Yi, he lowered the seal in his hand. He said nothing. Instead, he glanced toward the alchemy room. Inside and outside were like separate worlds. Divine sense could not penetrate between them. This explained why neither had sensed the other's presence. "I knew you would make it here," Zhou Yi said, looking at Wang Lin. A trace of melancholy lingered in his expression, along with a faint smile. There was also a hint of reminiscence. In Wang Lin's eyes, Zhou Yi had changed greatly. What startled him most was the aura emanating from Zhou Yi, an aura strikingly similar to that of a pseudo-Nirvana void treasure. "Wang Lin greets Senior. How could I dare forget the promise I made before? No matter how dangerous this place is, I will bring Qing Shuang's body here." At the sight of Zhou Yi, emotion stirred within Wang Lin. Zhou Yi was one of the few benefactors in his life. No matter how far Wang Lin's cultivation advanced his respect for Zhou Yi would never change. Zhou Yi looked at Wang Lin, a trace of melancholy surfacing on his face as he slowly shook his head. "There is no need to call me Senior when it is only the two of us. If you do not mind, you may call me Big Brother Zhou." His eyes suddenly narrowed. He examined Wang Lin carefully. "Who injured you to such a degree? Your origin soul is dim. Because your recovery has been too slow, hidden dangers will accumulate in the future." A chill flickered across Zhou Yi's expression. Wang Lin gave a bitter smile and briefly explained the situation. He did not mention the source origin. He only spoke of the vermilion bird's awakening. It was not a matter of distrust. The issue of source origin was simply too important. "Master Void!" A cold light flashed in Zhou Yi's eyes. Guilt lingered faintly within his gaze as he looked at Wang Lin. "If it were not for bringing me Qing Shuang, you would not have faced such danger." "Master Void. I will remember this name." Xianxia nodded. He did not question further, but he engraved the name Master Void deep within his heart. To harm Wang Lin, who had come for Qing Shuang, was to cross his bottom line. If an opportunity arose, Zhou Yi would ensure that Master Void paid a grievous price. "You must have come for the pills here. However, most have already been taken by the Celestial Cloud Cultivation couple. Only those useful for spirit bodies remain. They did not take them because the storage method is extremely complex." Zhou Yi paused, then his tone shifted. "But do not worry. I will find a way to obtain those pills for you." With that, Zhou Yi transformed into a streak of sword energy and shot out of the alchemy room's restrictions. He appeared in the air and clasped his hands. "Seniors of the Celestial Cloud couple, this person is an old friend of mine. Please grant me some pills." A light chuckle echoed from afar. Within the nearby purple forest, a flash appeared. Wang Wei and Hu Juan stepped forward. They walked slowly. Yet strangely, in only 3 steps they arrived before the alchemy room. Wang Wei waved his hand. The restrictions surrounding the alchemy room vanished, as though they had never existed. Wang Lin's pupils shrank sharply. "I had already guessed that little brother Wang might have some connection with this sword spirit." "It seems my guess was correct," Wang Wei said with a faint smile. His right hand reached forward. A crack instantly appeared in the air. 6 purple jade bottles flew out and landed in his palm. "These 6 bottles of rank 5 celestial gathering pills may be of use to you." With a wave of his hand, the 6 bottles flew toward Wang Lin. Dense celestial spiritual energy radiated from them. The fragrance was refreshing, almost intoxicating. Wang Lin caught the bottles and swept them with his divine sense. He did not consume them immediately. Instead, he stored them within his bag. Hu Juan studied Wang Lin closely. Then she suddenly spoke. "You are the inheritor of the annihilation restriction." Wang Lin remained calm. He met her gaze. "I am not the inheritor. I only know a portion of it." When Zhou Yi saw that Wang Wei had only given 6 bottles, his brows knit slightly. After a moment of thought, he spoke again. "Senior Wang Wei, this person is not only my old friend. He is also my benefactor. There is something I did not mention earlier. I was sealed here, and he was the one who saved me. Without him, I would not have had the chance to meet Senior." Wang Wei glanced meaningfully at Zhou Yi. Then his hand reached into the crack once more. This time, five-colored jade bottles emerged. He tossed them toward Wang Lin. These are heaven avoidance pills. Rank 4 celestial pills. Taking them will greatly alleviate your injuries. Wang Lin received them and scanned them with his divine sense. The celestial spiritual energy within was vast, far exceeding that of the previous 6 bottles. Zhou Yi frowned again, still dissatisfied. He no longer clasped his hands. Since Senior knows of the Rain Celestial Sword Spirit, then I presume you also know of Rain Celestial Lord Qing Shuang. Wang Wei's eyes narrowed instantly. Without asking further, he reached into the crack again and took out 3 more bottles. He did not explain them. He simply threw them to Wang Lin. Wang Lin caught them. After examining them, his expression shifted. The energy within these 3 bottles surpassed even the 5-colored ones. Their quality was clearly higher. In the past, I became infatuated with a female corpse within the Rain Celestial realm. I built a celestial jade pagoda to preserve her body to prevent decay, to allow her existence to continue forever. Zhou Yi's eyes filled with nostalgia. Later, I learned that she was not Ting Er. She was Celestial Lord Qing Shuang. Wang Wei's expression changed. He had refrained from soul-searching out of concern for damaging the spirit. But now, hearing this story, waves stirred within his heart. A trace of excitement appeared in Hu Huan's eyes. The two exchanged a glance. Then Wang Wei reached into the crack once more. This time, dozens of multicolored bottles flew out, all heading toward Wang Lin. Staring at Zhou Yi, Wang Wei said, "Continue." Wang Lin's expression grew strange. At last he understood what Zhou Yi meant by finding a way. "The last time I brought Ting Er to the Rain Celestial Realm was when I met Wang Lin." Zhou Yi's gaze grew distant. His expression softened with memory. He seemed entirely immersed in the past, in those moments, both beautiful and painful. A faint melancholic smile appeared on his face. As he spoke, the events of the Rain Celestial Realm unfolded once more. As Wang Lin listened, memories resurfaced within him as well. Wang Wei and Hu Juan were drawn into these recollections. When they heard that someone had attempted to steal Qing Shuang, killing, intent flickered within Hu Juan's gentle eyes. Wang Wei's gaze turned cold. A powerful pressure spread outward. "I was willing to burn everything for her. I have no regrets," Zhou Yi murmured. Even now he did not regret his choice. When Hu Huan heard that Zhou Yi had burned his soul to reach the ascendant stage, to regain clarity, all to protect Qing Shuang's body, and still held no regret, her gaze softened with compassion. What a cruel fate, Wang Wei sighed. With his experience, he could easily discern truth from falsehood. Because of Zhou Yi's obsession over thousands of years, a remnant soul had formed within Qing Shuang. She awakened. She revived Zhou Yi from the brink of death, and he became the new Rain Celestial Sword Spirit. After hearing everything, Wang Wei and Hu Huan fell silent. After a long time, Wang Wei let out a quiet sigh and clasped his hands toward Zhou Yi. "I will remember Brother Zhou's kindness toward Qing Shuang. If I have offended you in any way before, please do not take it to heart." Hu Juan looked at Zhou Yi, pain evident in her eyes. "We will not forget Brother Zhou's grace." Truth and falsehood were clear to them. Combined with their prior suspicions, there was no reason to doubt him. Moreover, Zhou Yi's identity explained everything. "I presume little brother Wang Lin has come to bring Qing Shuang's body." Wang Wei looked at Wang Lin, admiration appearing in his eyes. Thinking back, he had not paid much attention to him. He had not expected Wang Lin to be so steadfast. Though matters seemed settled, Wang Lin did not immediately produce Qing Shuang's body. Instead, he stepped back. He looked at Wang Wei and Hu Juan. What are the true identities of seniors? Wang Wei's admiration deepened. Such caution revealed Wang Lin's sincerity toward his promise. "Very well. It has been a long time since I revealed my identity. Since both you and Zhou Yi have aided us and aided Celestial Emperor Qing Lin greatly, I cannot conceal it from you." He sighed and looked toward the center of the 6th floor. A hint of melancholy appeared on his face. "I am the #1 guard under Celestial Emperor Qing Lin. At the same time, I was also his second disciple. As he spoke, an indescribable aura spread from his body. It carried a heaven-shaking arrogance. In that instant, Wang Lin could feel Wang Wei's renown within the celestial realm. Hu Juan spoke softly. "I am teacher's seventh disciple. I grew up alongside little sister Qing Shuang. When the celestial realm collapsed during the calamity, we happened to be outside. We avoided destruction. Later we learned that teacher had not died, but was gravely injured and had gone into hiding. Over the years we searched countless caves. At last we determined that teacher was within the celestial spirit heaven realm." Wang Lin's mind trembled. He fell into silent contemplation. Hu Huan raised her hand and gestured toward the restriction on the right. It shifted instantly, becoming even stronger than before. You must have noticed the differences in the restrictions surrounding the alchemy room. With your understanding, you should have guessed. After teacher opened this celestial cave, all structures and restrictions here were arranged by me under his orders. Only I can seamlessly integrate new layers into them. Her voice was calm, yet when it reached Wang Lin's ears, it thundered. Wang Lin inhaled sharply and gave a bitter smile. "So it truly was you. I had thought it was Senior Wang Wei." Wang Wei shook his head with a laugh. "My mastery of restrictions is inferior to hers. Otherwise, I would not have lost that wager regarding your restriction." Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding, preparing to take out the celestial pagoda. But at that moment, his expression changed. He suddenly turned his gaze into the distance. A sharp, piercing laugh echoed across the 6th floor. No need to wait for the next episode. The full audio novel is already available on my website. Check it out below. daoaudio.org